In this lesson, we'll learn a technique for building an autoclavicle rig. The autoclavicle system that we'll develop will help us keep volume in the shoulders. So this is going to be really exciting stuff. Now keep in mind, though we will rig the clavicles to rotate automatically, we'll still want animators to control the rotation of our clavicle bones. That way they can animate shoulder shrugs and other shoulder poses that would really push personality. So let's go ahead and keep that in mind and we'll get started. So the idea here is we'll use inverse kinematics to drive the rotation of the clavicles. Let's go ahead and get to it. We'll jump to our back view and we'll grab our bone tools. From there, let's go ahead and snap a bone object to our grid. So let's go ahead and turn on snapping. And once we've created a single chain, we'll then go ahead and exit bones mode. And we'll jump right back to our perspective view. Now we can go ahead and grab the root of this chain. And we'll use Shift A to quick align this over to our clavicle bone. Nice. Now once we've done that, let's go ahead and grab the nub object. We'll enter into bone edit mode. And we'll now quick align this over to our wrist. Alright, fantastic. Now it's kind of difficult to grab both nub objects. It's not that bad when it comes to selecting the new root that we've created. But no worries, here's what we're going to do just to make sure that it's easy to select this chain. We're actually going to trash this nub and we'll create a brand new one after we have resized its root. So with the root selected, let's go ahead and press page down to get to the nub, and now we'll delete it. We'll go back to the root bone, and then we'll jump to our modify panel. Let's go ahead and set the width and height to something a little bit larger, let's say to about 5. Alright, much better. Now we can choose create end, and there we have it. Both the nubs are now easy to select. Great. Alright, next, let's go ahead and turn off bone edit mode. We'll go ahead and take the root of this system, and we'll link to our chest bone. So I'll go ahead and grab the linking tool, and we'll link to that bone object, which is named spine muscle end. Alright, fantastic. Once we've done that, we can then go ahead and freeze its transforms. Let's do the same thing for the nub object. We'll go ahead and select that and freeze it. Alright, sweet. What I'd like to do now is go ahead and rename both objects. So starting with the root bone, its name will be BN-DRV L Auto Clavicle. Sweet. Let's go ahead and copy this name, and we'll use it to rename the nub. So I'll just go ahead and press page down to get to the nub object. We'll paste, and we'll change our prefix. So it's going to be nub. Nice. From here, let's go ahead and check our layers. Let's go ahead and grab both objects and store them in the hidden layer. Alright, fantastic. Now, we'll want to go ahead and take the clavicle and we'll want to link to our new bone object. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and freeze its transforms. Sweet. Next, let's go ahead and add inverse kinematics to our new bone system. So with the root selected, we'll grab our history independent solver. Let's go ahead and now connect to the nub. Wonderful. So watch this as we start to move the IK system. You can see how it will start to drive the orientation of the clavicle. Exciting stuff. Alright, let's say we go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and rename the IK goal object. So that's going to be hi underscore, and then we'll just use the same name that we've used for the bone object. So that's going to be L underscore auto clavicle. Fantastic. Again, we'll make sure that it gets added to the hidden layer. And then we can go ahead and freeze this. This will eventually be linked to another object, but as of right now, for testing purposes, we'll just go ahead and leave it exactly where it's at. But it's a good idea, of course, to freeze it so that when we're ready to get back to our default position, the skin pose, it's just a matter of using transform to 0. Wonderful. All right, so once we've managed to do that, it's basically time to finish the system up by making sure that the clavicle won't rotate as much. So in order to do that, we basically need to work with an orientation constraint. Let's go ahead and set this up. We'll create a point helper. From here, I'll just go ahead and add that to the scene. We can make sure that its display is changed. That way it's easy to select. I might start with axis tripod. Great. We might also drop the size maybe to about a value of 5. And now we'll go ahead and use Alt-A to align this to our clavicle bone. Great. We're making sure to align to the bone object that we're trying to constrain so that when we set up our constraints, there will be no shifting or anything like that. All right, once we've done that, we can then go ahead and rename this helper. So this will be renamed to PT underscore L underscore auto clavicle. And then I'm going to add chest as the suffix. This object is going to be linked to the chest and it will not rotate. That's how we'll get our averaging rotation from the clavicle bone. So knowing that, let's go ahead and link to our chest. Fantastic. Once we've done that, we can then go ahead and freeze transforms on this helper. Now it's time to clone the object. Let's go ahead and rename it. So instead of chest, the suffix will be clav. Once we've managed to do that, we can then go ahead and change its display. Let's go ahead and use box. All right, wonderful. Now, we'll make sure to link this object to our new bone. Fantastic. Once we've done that, we can then go ahead and freeze our transforms. Nice. All right, guess what? It's now time to set up our orientation constraints. So grabbing the clavicle bone, we can go ahead and Alt-right click and grab the orientation constraint. And we'll first constrain to the helper that's linked to the chest, the one that will not rotate. Once we've done that, let's go ahead and jump to our motion panel. Underneath rotation, we'll then go ahead and add another target. So we'll now orientation constrain to the other helper, the one that does move with our new bone object. All right, so watch. When we start to now move the IK system, you'll notice that the clavicle bone will not rotate as much. That's exactly what we want. Fantastic stuff. So that's what we'll need to do for the right side. I'll go ahead and leave that up to you. And in the next lesson, we'll work on setting up the twist system for the forearms.